Away. Away.
Hello. What the hell, Crypto Daily? You're looking very different today. Is that a new hoodie? Why, yes, it is. Thank you for noticing. On the real, though, I am feeling a little bit awkward. I do feel naked without it. My precious beard. I'll grow one back eventually. With my personal crisis out of the way, let's talk about the market. Bitcoin's at 15K. I feel like I'm getting used to saying that, like I used to say Ethereum's at 300. Maybe we'll start to see the memes come out. Not sure. Ethereum, though, hanging on to its all-time high of around 1,200 bucks. Seeming resilient. Now, for those interested, let me show you some fancy lines. All of the lines seem to be going that way, which is good. Does anyone remember this? That was crazy. According to this, the next level of resistance is well over $2,000. I'm not saying this should mean anything to you. This is not financial advice, but I thought these lines were pretty. Honestly, for me, it's absolutely massive that Ethereum is showing a price decoupling or decoupling of independence on the price of Bitcoin. Many didn't see the flippening where Ethereum becomes more in market cap than Bitcoin and becomes the #1 currency. Many people didn't see that happening because how? Every time that Bitcoin comes down, Ethereum does too, just like everything else. Like clockwork, it was unavoidable. However, Ethereum is showing that it can rise even when Bitcoin's falling. It needs to continue this for something like the flippening to one day happen. It has to show that capacity. It has to show people, hey, I'm pretty good as a store of value too, you know. If it can continue to do that, people will listen, I feel. I know it's a big if. That's a big thing to do. To grow while Bitcoin's falling that's tough. If anyone's going to do it, maybe Ethereum. It's got a big year ahead of it. A lot of tech upgrades, plasma, Raiden, sharding, if they can figure that out. Huge scaling propositions for Ethereum. Ethereum futures contracts. So cash contracts don't actually really do anything for the price of a coin. However, long contracts do. They can have a very positive effect, as far as I understand it. We have some big gainers in the top 15. Neo being one of the biggest. Monero, although still hasn't recovered from its all-time high of around 490 on CoinMarketCap, but that was when they still included the Korean exchange pricings in their averages. Icon as well is growing quite a bit. So why is Neo pumping 25% in a day? It was a little bit higher earlier as well. What's going on? Neo is a steady riser. I mentioned this in my top 10 coins for the year. It's pretty much a safe bet, as much as you can get in crypto. But Neo has also had some very successful ICOs launch on its platform. Things like Red Pulse, which is a rank 105 coin, was previously within the rank 100. Deep Brain Chain, which recently smashed it into rank 76. There are many other value propositions for holding Neo as well. However, I don't know if this was news driven. I don't know if it was the fact that potentially they thought it was a good investment choice because it didn't have a run up like a lot of coins did recently. Speaking of, check this out. What's that? What's that, IOTA? Where's my pumps? Now, it is a rank 9 coin. It's harder for huge market cap coins to pump. It requires billions of dollars to cause a pump, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars. But yeah, very little price action. Now, you could say, what if the wave comes for IOTA next? Because it does tend to move in waves. So today it's this, today it's that. Maybe people will look at this and think, value, I'll get in before anyone else does. A lot of other people think of the same thing. It starts to pump. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe we see that here. Maybe we don't. I don't know. Just my thoughts on the matter. Jamie Dimon says he regrets calling Bitcoin a fraud and believes in technology behind it. Does he also regret calling people idiots that buy it or use it? Hypocrite, you could say. However, what I'm thinking is he's doing a 180 because JP Morgan Chase is probably going to want to capitalize on crypto more than ever because, hey, crypto. You know what Mahatma Gandhi said about Bitcoin? First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. Maybe he was talking about political movements, but it's attributed to Bitcoin so much lately that, yeah, some people will probably think it was about Bitcoin. Mahatma is Satoshi confirmed. Let's talk about some investment choices for January 2018. These are the coins that I hear about, I read about every single day. They're always talked about. Generally, I find the places that I go to, if they're talking about it, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because they are, it does well. Maybe there's some value in listening to them. these are those coins. Bounty 0x, a rank 222 coin. Whenever you see the rank, for me, that means potential gains. As soon as I see a rank 50 coin, I recognize that at most it has 2, 3, 4x potential. A rank 100 coin might have double that. A rank 200 might have 10 times that. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But to get through, for brevity reasons, Icon is being talked about a lot. I've talked about it a lot. It was in my top 10. 15% today. Rec hasn't done very much after hitting $1, struggling to get over that. Currently ranked 68, solid project. VeChain was in my top 10 as well. It is currently a rank 40 coin, has potential for a top 10. In my opinion, could be wrong, but there is an upcoming rebrand due. Usually coins do well after a rebrand. I'm not sure why, but excitement, new logo, cool. Engine coin hasn't done too much in the last week, but has had a good year so far. Yeah, this year that pump happened. Mobile currency wallet and a plugin for Minecraft is upcoming. Verify, potentially one of the lowest ranked coins I'm going to talk about. Yeah, I think so. Rank 301. Verify is basically a smaller version of the request network. It doesn't have as broad a scale, but as a payment processor, that's what it's aiming for. Omise Go. Up and down with a general uptrend, it seems. People wondering whether or not it is now a good entry point. I think for every crypto at some point a few months down the line, everything's going to look like a good entry point. But what's the best ones to give you entry points? That's the real question. Basic Attention Token, I think touted by some as more of a long-term hold rather than a quick flip, but very solid project. Ambrosius, attempting to verify supply chain stuff, I would imagine. This project really needs partnership announcements. If it can get some, then I would expect moon price actions. Until then, it's very speculative, it's very risky, but that's how you get in early. That's how you make the moon money. It's kind of too late once the news is broken if you weren't in there before. But yeah, I'm not promising gains here at all. I don't hold any. Neblio has shot up insanely this year. Very active development team, a team that is actually delivering. Very hyped right now. One of the most hyped coins this year so far. IX Ledger is doing very well as well. I did want to point out one thing though. Buying right now would be risky. You can have a look at the chart. Usually all-time highs are not a good entry point. Usually. The ICO of today is Titanium Blockchain, a blockchain designed to move IT enterprise to the cloud. This is built on the Ethereum blockchain, so it's an ERC20 token. The token will be called BAR. They've raised $3.5 million. They have a cap of quite high of $35 million. However, the idea is a grand one, so you can kind of understand. Technically, to move data centers, routers, switches, everything to the cloud and have a whole enterprise office running from your tablet is what they're going for. They have a technically savvy development team. These guys will be holding a 20% portion of the coins, fairly high. However, it will be subject to a freeze period. And like usual, the BAR token would have value because it's the only token that you can use to pay for these services. I think in future, office jobs one day will be far more common for people to work from home for, because why are companies paying big rent on an office, paying insurance, when almost everyone has a device in their home? Home is where the good Wi-Fi is. That's mainly office jobs. There are some jobs you have to be public facing, but now I've got a big episode tomorrow. I think you guys will like it. I'm pretty excited about it. Subscribe if you haven't. Maybe you want to enable notifications for this one so you don't miss it. And I'll see you then.